esteemed members on the panel, respected professors, ladies and gentlemen, namaste. It is my proud privilege to be a part of this august gathering today. I graduated from this glorious institution in 2007, and I have endeavored to come here every few years. But each time I visit the campus, it is like reopening an old case file. Familiar names, familiar benches, familiar corridors, familiar air, and that suddenly feels so much more special and makes so much more sense. My heartfelt gratitude to the organizers for therefore giving me this opportunity today, not as a lawyer, but as a former student who sat exactly where you are sitting today. As a student, my introduction to legal aid started just as any other subject in the curriculum. But in those 2 years, the experience of providing legal aid to those who were in need left me completely transformed. I had never imagined that this subject, which does not generally get the importance it deserves, will quietly sow in me the seeds of giving back to the society and also shape the lawyer I eventually became. One of the most transformative experiences for me during that time was collaborating with the CSR teams of large corporates. For instance, Tata Motors had adopted a few villages in and around Pune. What started as fun trips to the interiors of Pune soon became a reality check. That's when I realized that law is not about case laws and sections, but it's about real people, lives, and lived experiences. I must confess that it was my first encounter with law at the grassroots level. I have often believed that the courtroom taught me procedure, but those villages taught me purpose. Those villages taught me what perhaps a classroom could never do. When we performed those street plays, or when we went for those villages, sitting under a tree, sometimes a small classroom, or maybe just outside a temple, we, the legal aid team of ILS Law College then, learned the basics of human interaction. How to listen, how to speak without intimidating, and most importantly, how to empathize. These legal aid retreats, as we used to call them then, taught me, and of course my colleagues who were a part of the team then, that empathy is not just a soft skill. It is a core legal skill. Interestingly, while we believed that we were going there to educate, it was quite the opposite. They empowered us. The people we met, women, elderly couples, young girls, taught us resilience, courage, and clarity of thought that no textbook could ever do. They showed the direction our legal careers could take if we chose to walk that path. At the grassroots level, we also realized that many people were unaware of the most basic legal rights. Issues such as child marriage, domestic violence, rights of women before and after marriage, and the very option of divorce were seen as taboo subjects, perhaps because of wrong or incomplete information. So we quickly understood that legal jargon would not work here, and we had to become creative. We used street plays, folk songs, and even dance to communicate these ideas. Law, after all, is meant to be understood and not memorized. And if that meant a lawyer performing a street play, so be it. One unexpected challenge, of course, was language. The law we studied was in English. But to communicate it effectively in Marathi was non-negotiable. So I had to learn a bit of Marathi and a few Marathi songs. And we made some of these songs a part of our street plays. I still remember with fondness these lines. Zara चुकीचे, zara बरोबर, बोलू काही, चला दोस्त हो आयुष्यावर, बोलू काही. And let me tell you, this broke the ice. And let me also tell you, nothing builds trust faster than a lawyer attempting a folk song and not getting it entirely right. It reminded us that humility is often the best legal aid tool. Over the years, as my career progressed, litigation, various advisory roles, these early experiences have stayed with me. They have helped me navigate my professional journey with sensitivity. They have reminded me that behind every brief is a human story. Legal aid didn't teach me to serve the society, but it taught me to be a part of the society, to be within the society, and to be a better lawyer and a better human being. As they say, law is not about knowing the rules, but to know whom the rules are meant for. To the students here, I must tell you that you should take legal aid seriously. Not because it is a part of your curriculum, but because it quietly shapes your conscience. And to my respected professors here, thank you very much for encouraging and insisting that we stepped out of our classrooms, the comfort of our classrooms, and stepped into communities. And that insistence then has continued to have an indelible mark on me, and that continues even today. I'll conclude by saying that law is not charity, it is a partnership, and once you experience that partnership, it stays with you. Thank you all for a very patient hearing. आप सभी को नव वर्ष की बहुत बहुत शुभकामनाएं और एक बार पुनः मुझे ये अवसर प्रदान करने के लिए बहुत धन्यवाद.
Thank you, Sidharth. And he is a very good lawyer, good singer we came to know. Maybe we will have one full song later. Thank you very much.